Hi, welcome everybody. My name is JD and this is my channel Frost and Forest. And today I am going to continue on with the Tarot March Madness tag. For this game, we have the Numinous Tarot going up against the Cosmic Wisdom Tarot. For those of you who are just joining me, I would recommend that you go back and watch my other videos first because there's about to be some spoilers. Basically, these are my brackets. I have indie decks, and then I have some mass market decks that went up against each other. I tried to pick all sort of modern decks that are in my collection right now, just to I thought it would be fun to have them go head to head. And so we are now on to game 6, the semifinals, and then we will have one more game after this one. But basically, in order for a deck to win or move on to the next round, move on to the finals here, basically they have to win after kind of doing 3 challenges, sort of. So first we test the shuffle, then I'm going to do the semifinals a little bit differently, that I am going to quickly kind of go through and pick my favorite cards from each of the decks. So I'll be looking at all of the cards side by side and pick the one that I like best. And then whichever deck gets the most cards that are my favorite, then that will be the deck that wins that challenge. And then for the third challenge, if there's a tie between the shuffle and my favorite cards, then I will do a quick 3-card spread. So we'll have to see. So starting out, I am going to do the shuffle of both of these decks. So we are going to start with the Cosmic Wisdom Tarot. And again, I have very small hands. I'm not the best shuffler in the world. Okay, that went pretty well. I still had a couple extra cards left because again, I have small hands and it's hard. It also shuffles pretty nice this way. I like the sound that it makes when it shuffles. So yeah. That has a pretty good shuffle. So we are also going to look at the Numinous Tarot. This one is even bigger, so I even more have to strain my hands. I also had a few cards left over because my hands are small. That's interesting. You know, I really thought that it was going to be, that is hard, because I really thought it was going to be the Cosmic Wisdom, just because it's a little smaller. But even then, I still had to I still had to strain my hands a little bit, and I had a few cards left. I'm going to look at cardstock a little bit. That is really close. Let me try some like hand over hand again. I like the way that sounds. That works pretty well. Okay, you know, I think I'm gonna give this, and I'm kind of surprised by that, I think I'm gonna give this to the Numinous, and partially, and I think it's because of this gilding. It's a little bit sharp, and so it feels a little bit pokey. It's also very possible that my hands are particularly dry right now, so it feels more pokey to me. But I think, and I was pretty surprised about that, I'm actually going to give this one to, so 1 point to the Numinous Tarot. Okay, so I'm going to stop the video and put both of these decks back in order. And then I will come back and do a side-by-side flip through and figure out which one I like the best. Be back in a bit. I'm back and I put these back into order. So basically what's gonna happen is I'm gonna go through and decide which one for each of the cards that I like best. And so if I pick it, it's gonna go to either side. If I decide that I like the other one better, then I'm gonna pull that one off the screen. I might talk, I might not talk, who knows? Depends on what I have to say. But I'm kind of excited about looking at these two decks. So just starting off, I think I have to pick the Numinous Fool, because part of what I love about this Fool is just, this Fool just goes for it and just dives off a cliff and is ready for something new. And I sort of like that feeling. So I'm gonna keep that one. Okay, so for the Magician, I like this one. Oops. I love High Priestess for this one. Oh, this one is really hard. I think I gotta go with that one. I like this one because it's a little bit not quite so traditional. The Emperor card is one of those cards that I have trouble with. Same with the Hierophant, if I'm being honest. The Lovers. I think this is a beautiful card. Okay, well, this seems like it's going a specific direction, but let's get through all of the cards and see. Oh, I don't know. This one, I'm having a tough time because I like the seasonality in this one, but I like the candles, bells, and vials in this one. I really wish I could pick both of them. My instinct was to go with this one, but looking at this one more closely, I think I like this better. And I think that's kind of the story of my relationship with the Numinous Tarot, is at first glance, it feels like it's a deck I like, but you know, I don't know. But then when I really look into the cards, I start seeing so much more. Seems like the Cosmic Wisdom Tarot is coming back. Oh, these are both kind of tough cards, but I think I like this one. And then in the Numinous Tarot, it does change the court names to be gender neutral. I love the kind of shadow of the lion in the background of this card. I think that makes it feel more like this is the one with the fire energy. Oh, it's surprising how similar these two cards are. I love the aces in the Numinous Tarot. Although I do like the frog there. These are very similar, so it's a little hard for me to pick. This is a hard one because I think they both have that kind of feeling of anguish and anxiety. And this one feels a little bit darker, but this one also feels more like the everyday and the feeling that you might identify with, or I might identify with, when I'm actually having sort of those Nine of Swords feelings. Oh, this is hard. I think I have to give it to the Cosmic Wisdom. Definitely the Ten of Bells. This is another hard one because I love this Page of Swords, but I also love this Dreamer of Bells and bringing the bells, you know, that first part of youth, of exploration, and exploring ideas. Okay, so now we're on to Pentacles / Tombs. So I do like the Three of Pentacles to be people working together. You know, for something like this, that is the Three of Tombs, where it's just someone doing its own work. This feels a lot to me like the Eight of Pentacles / Tombs. And so in this case, I'm going to give it to this one because I like the Three of Pentacles being about cooperation with others. I love this Four of Tombs. I talked about it in the last video about the idea of, you know, you're both protecting these books and this knowledge, but you are also at the same time making it inaccessible to people. And so this has always been a very powerful Four of Pentacles image for me. This is another one. The idea of being so desperate. Oh, for, you know, so desperate that you have to burn books. I love books. And so that just, you know, this decision feels really stark, and I don't know. This feels like a big decision. This one, I don't know, because I love the idea of the Six of Pentacles being about, like, I don't know, generational knowledge, and the idea that you are passing that knowledge down to another generation. I haven't looked at the guidebook for this, but this is kind of the story in my head that I have had around this card, is that this person, you know, is supporting their grandmother, and while, you know, that has some benefit to them, it also benefits the grandmother because they're spending time together. But in the process, the grandmother is teaching this person, and that passing on of knowledge instead of just, you know, maybe resources. But I think, you know, for example, if this person is like a farmer or something, maybe it does have to do with resources and livelihoods. I'm getting really in depth about this card, but, you know, I have this whole story in my head about this card, but I also really love the idea of free little libraries as a way to, you know, redistribute ideas and wealth. And, you know, this just feels very cozy to me. And so I don't know. As much as I hate to say it, I think I like the story in my head about this card. Honestly, that kind of surprised me because I love the Six of Tombs. Okay, Seven of... This one is hard too, but I think I'm going to go with that one. This is another really hard one. I love both of these Ten of Pentacles a lot. I think they're both beautiful. And I think part of the reason why the Numinous gets so many cards is because I love books, and so I love knowledge. And so this just sort of has an automatic advantage to some extent because it is so book related. But at the same time, I like the cozy everydayness of the Cosmic Wisdom. And so, you know, this is a future that I would like, but this is also a future that I would like of, yeah, I don't know. I think I have to do this one.
Let's see, this one.
Okay. So I think I have a sense of who won, but just to be fair, I'm going to go ahead and count these cards. Okay, so this one had 30, this one had 48. So that means that the Numinous Tarot, it's another point. It means the Cosmic Wisdom can't come back from that. Because this one got 2 points. So even if it got the last point by doing a 3-card reading, it wasn't going to come back from that. So you're going to write the next one. One of the cool things about this process is I think it is reminding me of the reason why I love the Numinous Tarot so much. You know, just getting to look through these cards and compare them and look at them more closely just kind of reminded me about why I like this deck so much. So it doesn't really surprise me that this one has made it to the finals, because it is an old favorite that I really like compared to some of these newer decks, like the Tarot of the Guiding Muse and the Cosmic Wisdom are pretty new decks to me. It also makes me wonder, potentially, if, you know, and I'm not making this decision right now because that's not the goal of this video, but it does make me wonder if in the future, whether I will want to keep both of these, because they did feel in some ways kind of similar to me. Obviously the aesthetics are different, but when it comes to modern decks, I don't know, maybe it's possible I don't need both of them. But like I said, I'm not ready to let the Cosmic Wisdom go yet, because it is a beautiful deck and it has some cards that I really love. So yeah, join me for the last round, which will be game number 7, which is going to be the Numinous Tarot and Tarot for the Great Outdoors. Thanks for stopping by.